Hi, and welcome to Green Shoes. Our successful business is built on the philosophy of quality footwear and great service. Come see us at Green Shoes in the Medicine Hat Mall. We look forward to meeting you.
I'm Angus Henderson, reporter columnist for the News, and today I'm interviewing Alderman John Hamill. John, as an alderman, you've amused and bemused hatters for years with everything from your battles with former Mayor Ted Grimm to calling the Esplanade a cultural piece of crap, and most recently pushing the wrong button at City Council on the Regional Event Centre. How would you define your political experiences over the years, and what, let's say, are the 3 or 4 things that kind of stand out in your mind?
Well, it's been a great deal of fun, really. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And that's not a goodbye to politics. I'm just saying that over the years I've had a tremendous amount of fun, good times, met tremendous people, and I've worked for the City of Medicine Hat. You know, I had battles with Ted, and I respect the man. I thought he was a tremendous mayor, good leader, great administrator, and it was fun working with him for a while. Mind you, I had my moments. I mean, you know, he put me on a committee, and I would be with Alderman Sauer and Alderman Kelly, and I was just a squeaker at the back. You know, nobody took any damn notice of me until the day I stood up and said, "Gentlemen, I have better things to do than this," and walked out and went and played golf. And I hadn't teed off on the first hole before I got the call from Ted, you know, to get back in here and sort this out. But at that time, I was just a beginner, just a novice, and you came on to council with the idea that you were going to change the world. I mean, it was tremendous, but you didn't always get it that way. Things that stand out, other than Ted, when I was on the radio with CJCY, I got in a few sort of spats with various people. The Teen Moms was one. In fact, I ended up doing a program on WWW5, is it? WWW? Or was it WW? I forget. Anyway, W5, and I was on there, and they came and did a day in the life of John Hamill, you know, sitting on his deck with his dog Rooney, and it was a tremendous program, and they wanted me to say that I believed or changed my mind on teen pregnancies, and I said no, and I never have to this day. I mean, I do not see why young people today, I know it takes 2 to tango and all the rest, I just don't know why two people can get themselves into so much trouble, and in many cases ruin the lives, not only of their own lives, but the lives of the child that had no wish to be born into that type of situation. So I'll never condone that, and I won't change my mind.
Okay. Well, John, I guess the teen pregnancy would be one of those things that's been viewed by some people as what they would call maybe too blunt or abrupt or opinionated.
Well, I am. I mean, that's been my life. I mean, I am blunt. I, on occasion, have been very opinionated, but then who hasn't? Who's not stood up and said, you know, that they're the best and this guy's the bottom end of the stick, you know? I mean, everybody's opinionated to some degree. I've just, fortunately or unfortunately, I've been in a position to state my case in front of a lot of people. Most people are just opinionated at home or in the bar amongst their friends, and I've had the opportunity to stand up in front of a lot of people and say things that some will agree with and some won't. You can't get everybody to agree. They don't all agree with you, and that's a good thing. You know, there's got to be somebody out there. If everybody thought like I did, this place would be a hell of a mess, you know. I mean, it'd be a rough city to be in.
John, when you eventually step down from politics, is there any legacy, or is there something you want to leave behind for people to think of you?
I'd like them to think that I was an honest politician, that I stood up for what I believed in. I was prepared to fight the good fight. I remember something that my mother, we're Irish, we were born on the Emerald Isle, and I was, and my mother always said to me, if you want to go far in this world, lad, and you want to be, you know, a mark for people, don't tell lies. And I remember saying, you know, something about, what do you mean tell lies? I said, everybody must tell a little lie sometime. She said, if you tell lies, you've got to have a hell of a good memory. And I've stuck with that.
Speculation around town is that you're going to be running again for election, right?
Yes, I will. Yeah, I'd like to do another term. I'd like to see the event centre built. I want to be on side when that goes ahead, and it will go ahead. I know there's people out there saying, oh yeah, but you were the swing vote and you voted the other way. Well, the reason why I voted the other way and the reason why I pressed the wrong damn button wasn't out of just being an embuggerance factor. It was that you've got those buttons there, and whilst everybody says, oh, it's easy to look at a button and press it, but then you've got to look at the big screen to see if it actually says you voted. Because sometimes you press the button and it doesn't work. It doesn't say voted. And that's why there are sometimes delays. And I remember pressing, you're looking up, and I pressed again, it's still, and I hit it again. Now, it's only a matter of 1/4 of an inch, and that thing swings across. And I made the mistake. And I couldn't have lived with myself if I hadn't corrected that mistake. I could have just hid and said, oh, let it go. Nobody will know, but they do know. And I had already spoken against the event centre. But I want it built, and I can see it being built. And in fact, I'm going to come up with a suggestion that we actually open an event centre fund, which we haven't done. We haven't got $1. There's not $1. There's these guys, these committee guys have been running all over the damn country, going here, there and everywhere, looking at various places. And what have they done? They haven't got $1 in an account that you can say is the event centre account. And I'm going to suggest we do that. Let's put 10, 20 million in there. We have the money. Let's start. It's a pace in the right direction. It's too easy to say, well, you haven't given us any money. We have. The utilities and the land and some monies that came from various sources of government have in fact gone towards this fund, called the Community Capital Fund, and they could have taken the money out of there any time and put it in the Event Centre Fund. But they haven't done it. Now, I don't know where the vision is in that. I mean, that's like sticking your head up your own whatnot. I mean, that's of no value to me. I mean, damn it, let's do this, and I want to see it done soon. And I'd like to be on side, on council, when it's completed and opened. And I do believe that will happen in the next 2 to 3 years. 3 years.
Okay. Thanks, John.
Hmm.